All right, cool. Now it's been a while since I've done a video on Path to Nowhere. I believe that the last time I did a video on it was when they announced the guild content. Now I'm gonna be going through a few things. The first off, I'm gonna be giving you my thoughts on the Tides of Ashes, how it's kind of structured. Gonna give you a few tips here and there on how to proceed it, is in case you guys are kind of confused, because I was a little confused at first until my guild kind of like explained it a little bit. Then it became a little bit more understandable. I'll also be suggesting a few centers in case you guys are looking to build something in the future for the future iterations of um, Tides of Ashes. And of course, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the just like the battle pass itself, because I have been buying the battle pass subsequently as they've been releasing. So I'm gonna just give you my thoughts on whether or not it's worth buying the battle pass, and if you guys are looking to spend money, what's worth spending money on. So why don't we begin? All right, cool. Now I'm over here at my guild. I'm gonna explain to you about how this kind of works. In case you guys, I've already started it. Again, I should have done this video earlier, but it's always so loud during the day. I have to do it during the night. At first I was confused because I hit a box and it didn't let me proceed until it told me, oh, each box has hit points. You gotta hit it 3 times in order to proceed to the next box. You don't want to do that. Again, you want to be able to coordinate with your guild properly so that, okay, one player hits one box, and then while I hit this box, another player's hitting a different box, and then we just switch places, right? It gets easier once you get over here, because then you got more paths going in different directions, and then you can just use, because again, you cannot use the same team on the same box consecutively. So for example, if I hit a team, let's say on this box right here, on this box over here, if I hit a team here, I cannot use the same team again in order to basically clear it. I need a separate team. But if I can use the same team, say I hit this box with one team, I can use the same box I hit with this, the same team I hit with this box, I can use it over here. That's what it means. If you're looking to hit again the same box in order to like clear it off, you need a second team. You really don't need that many. I think the max level for the first wave of it, you need at least level 65, because at -10 you want to hit as high as possible. So this is the highest penalty, -10. It goes up to level 60. So 65, 70, you know, a team with a level around that, and then try to get the levels up there as you kind of go along. And then of course you have your main 4 bosses that are all over here. There's the main boss, but it's basically the same thing. You go in there and you do -10 right here. It looks like it needs what, 11 runs. If you got 3 players at 10 points each, that means at 11 runs it's like 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, so about 4 players. Yeah, 4 players need to hit this consecutively. Again, not the same boss, because you don't want to do that. You don't want to hit the same boss, because if you're hitting 3 times each on the same box, you know, you need 18 centers, and a lot of players don't have that many build. So let's say I hit here, I hit here, and I hit here, and then the same goes for the other guildmates. They'll do 1, 2, 3, and then again consecutively. So you need everybody to kind of pull their weight. One thing I suggest, if you guys have a Discord, you guys are in the Discord, try to coordinate a little bit about how each iteration goes, and then after just kind of just plan ahead. If you guys don't have a Discord, open the Discord, and then try to have members that are willing to join a Discord. If they don't want to join a Discord, it makes it really hard to kind of coordinate things, or at the very least, it's like to get, you know, extra tips, especially when it comes to recommendation for centers, crime brands, etc. It's nice to have a place where you can go in and ask questions and then coordinate a little bit, especially for future iterations of Tides of Ashes. Now, if you guys have any questions regarding anything on the actual aspects of gameplay, I think I kind of like broke it down a little bit where it's a little bit more understandable. At first I didn't understand it either, you know, and I don't think everybody from the guild understood it either. They're basically treating the first iteration of Tides of Ashes kind of like a testing period, and then for the future ones we kind of know what's going on, and then we'll go hard on it. Again, if you guys have any questions regarding anything about Tides of Ashes on the gameplay side, please let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer those questions as best I can. From here, I'm going to head over to the actual rewards, and which crime brands I recommend you focusing on getting first, second, third, and etc. And then from there, I'm going to head on to the centers. All right, cool. Now, when it comes to the shop itself, if you guys are kind of like worried about, am I going to be able to get everything, especially if you're kind of concerned about your guild's participation, In Tides of Ashes, the first I'm gonna like kind of number them. The first one you should focus on getting is the City of Sins, Servant, the Consciousness Crystals, and then get these two. If you have extra and you can actually get the rest of them, get the S class soul mark, and then whatever left you can get the soul marks you can get for either B rank or A rank sinners. Now the City of Sins is actually a really good crime brand. It's actually good for tanks, or it's good for characters that need to tank. For example, Soya. Now what this one does is that it increases their HP by 5% for every stack, and each stack is activated which every crime brand that's equipped to the character. So for example, Soya, who uses tuning 0, you'd give her this one as a quick example. You give her this one, and then Echoes Corridor, and then that activates a Proxa 3 crime brands, and then that's 3 stacks, so that's HP plus 15% and attack plus 9%. Plus you got an HP percentage plus 8 plus 10%, so that equals 25% extra HP. This is actually a really good one for Soya as a quick example, or it's actually extraordinarily great for the tanks. A tank that actually works really well with this one is actually Demon, because again, 25% attack plus 9%, 25% HP and 9% attack. It's a pretty juicy. The next one is this one. Now this one has a 40% chance of adding 2 extra energy when the summoned item deals damage. For example, this is really good for characters or sinners that summon something. For example, Countess Chelsea, Stargazer, etc. They're summoning something, or even Hecate for that quick example. Again, it's got a 40% chance, so it's kind of RNG in its own aspect, but it's still a really relatively good one. It can be triggered at once more every 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds you got a 40% chance. It's not great, but it's decent. Again, it's really good for, again, like I mentioned, any characters who summon something. Hecate, Count Chelsea, Stargazer, really good for those characters. Now, Ground Zero looks really cool. Okay, it's really cool. It's actually another good one because, again, it adds attack speed, which is very rare to see on crime brands. I think some S-rank crime brands will add attack speed, but not all of them. This one adds 1% attack for self for every 3 seconds, and stacks up to a max of 10 times. Resets after moving, so the character cannot move. It's got to be stationary. So it goes up to a max of 10% extra attack. It's actually not bad. Again, like I said before, this is actually not a bad one. For example, Soya, who's actually the one in the picture, is actually not a bad one for Soya. Or for a fact that, this character is going to stay here and it's not going to move. It's actually a really good one, because as soon as the character moves, the stacks reset, and it's every 30 seconds. So it's every 30 seconds, 10 times 30 seconds in total, give or take. 30 seconds in order to proc it. It's actually a really good one. Again, this is one I suggest if you guys are looking for crime. It's the last one I recommend, because you need 2 of them. So get these 2 first, and then the Consciousness Crystal. These are very rare. These are actually used to unlock the skills from level 9 to 10. These are very rare, so you actually want to nab these. Get these 2 crime bands, then this, and then these 2, and then the soul marks at the end. Because the soul marks, they come and go. Basically, you can get them from the sample, and you can farm them by doing the pit. But these are limited on the event. I'm not sure if they'll have a rerun, or after this event they'll go into like the randomizer aspect when you do the daily anomalies, the 3 daily anomalies. I'm not sure if these will be added to the anomalies, or these are just like limited to the event. That's why I recommend getting the crime brands first. That's enough about the crime brands. Moving on to the next section, which is the sinners. So the actual sinners that are recommended, there's one I don't have, all right, and that was the one from this previous event, which is Efner. That's the only one I was not able to get. I will give you my thoughts on the Langley banner, but just keep in mind I couldn't get the one for the event. Enfer, I couldn't get her, and she's actually one of the recommended ones because she's an amplifier that actually helps out a ton in Tides of Ashes. Which again, that's something I was asked, is what characters are good in Tides of Ashes. Enfer was one. Irene, Soya is actually a pretty good one. Demon is he actually works really well in Tides of Ashes. He's actually a really great tank. They tell me that if you want him to work really well, you need about 2 to 3 shackles. But even at 0 shackles, he still does decently. For like the earlier iterations of Tides of Ashes, having a demon is actually very beneficial. See all those players I made fun of having a demon? Now you fucking need them. As for other characters, Hamel is actually another recommended character. Flora, Now, which are the other ones? There's more. Don't worry. Chameleon is actually another good one. It's actually very recommended, not just for Tides of Ashes, but for the future. They're going to release World Boss, basically. And Chameleon is actually a highly recommended amplifier for the physical comps. So if you guys can have a Chameleon and actually start, gearing her up, it's actually very well worth it. McQueen is also another character that's highly recommended. Dolly, Priscilla. I'm working on Flora now. So Flora is actually another one that's highly recommended for this. Ariel. If I do recommend the Molly in a way, but the main tank that they recommend the most is Cinnabar. That's primarily for Tides of Ashes, and if you're looking to go into the world boss, they actually recommend Cinnabar and Demon as tanks. I think in Tides of Ashes there's a boss and where you need 2 tanks, and they highly recommend Demon and Cinnabar. Come back, don't do this. And Cinnabar. Unfortunately, I was already working on Flora, so I just finished off Demolia. Said let's finish out Demolia, work on Flora, so that I have extra DPS. As you can see, I've been very, very busy building characters. And I got Hamel because I was trying to pull on Enfer. And for some reason, they decided to give me Hamel instead of Enfer. So I didn't know how to feel about him. Like, I don't know if I should be happy that I got Hamel, because she's actually a really good character. Or if I should be upset because I needed Enfer for Tides of Ashes. So, yeah, GG. Anyways, where was I? I was actually recommending characters. I did say Priscilla is actually another great one. If you guys are looking to build characters and you don't know what to build for like creature iteration, especially for world boss or maybe Tides of Ashes, other characters that they actually recommended: Kelvin, Che, Joanne. They didn't even recommend Labyrinth, but Labyrinth is actually another good one. So basically, like these 4 down here, they recommend the most. Priscilla, I didn't mention that one. Tetra, McQueen. They actually recommend McQueen a lot. They actually recommend this character a lot more, especially when instead of you mix a McQueen with Demon, you put them both together. They actually do pretty well. Wolverine, Dolly, Ruleka is 2 RNG though. I can't consciously recommend Ruleka, but those are the characters I would recommend the most, especially if you guys are starting out and you guys don't know what to build. Those are the ones I recommend. Again, like I said before, Chameleon for physical comps, Amplifier, Dolly, McQueen, Tetra, and then Priscilla, then these 3 right here in general. And then I just mentioned Demon. If you can get Demon, can't get Demon, don't worry about it. Flora, Ariel, Picasso, and then basically the characters I have up here. They don't highly recommend Wendy, but still it's nice to get. When they gave us that little ticket that allowed us to kind of grab the crime brands on, not crime brands, but shackles on Swimmer, and they told me, oh, you shouldn't have done that for Hecate because in the future you're gonna get these for free, but kind of need them now. So again, I can always trade in those shackles for extra currency in the future, so that's okay. But I was able to finally get my Wendy up there. Again, she's my favorite character out of everybody here. So actually, it's actually Langley. It's actually these 2. These 2 are my favorite characters. But yeah. Anyways, from here, I just recommended the characters for Tides of Ashes. If you have any questions on these characters that I mentioned, or maybe you don't know the crime brands, or what kind of crime brands they need, etc., just let me know down in the comment section below. I'll try to answer those questions. Or maybe you guys want other recommendations in the future. I just ask away. Mentioning the banner for Langley. Is it worth pulling on Langley? Honestly, when it came to Path to Nowhere, she's a character that kind of drew me into Path to Nowhere because I just thought she was just the coolest character design. Should you pull on Langley? Yeah. Do you need multiple shackles for her to perform really well? No. I've been using my Langley. She's at 0 shackles. I've been using that iteration for like forever. Am I going to pull for Langley again? Yeah. I think having at least 1, maybe 2 shackles on her is enough. At 0 shackles, she's still a powerhouse. So having 1 or 2 extra shackles would be great. Again, the more the better, obviously. But I wouldn't recommend pulling too much on Langley, especially if you're, for example, you don't know if you should pull on her, because we are gonna have another radical coming out after her. I think her name is Oak Casket, which is another radical. A radical is basically this. She's basically the same, long ranger, and she also uses guns. So that's the kind of question you want to ask yourself. Do you want to pull on Langley now, or do you want to wait on Oak Casket, which is the next banner coming up, or the next event, quote unquote? Again, that's entirely up to you guys. More than likely, for me, I'm going to end up spending, which I'm going to get into in just a second, the spending aspect of it. But yeah, I wish I could get an extra shackle. Maybe I should get an extra shackle, and then maybe hopefully I can nab Oak Casket. I couldn't nab Antfer, but maybe I can get Oak Casket. But in general wise, that's the kind of like question you gotta ask yourself. There's another reticle coming out right after her. So do you want to save cubes to get Oak Casket, or do you want to say I don't want an Oak Casket, I want to get Langley? It's up to you guys. I'm just letting you know that you can pull on her now, or you can wait for the next one. It's another reticle. It's another long ranger. So the ball's on your court on that one. Actual spending. Me personally, I spent, I'm gonna say, a total of $30 every 2 months, and that's because I buy the battle pass. The battle pass is actually pretty worth it. I'm gonna say this right now. I do buy the $20 one. You don't have to buy the $20 one if you don't want to, but the $20 one actually gets you the extra third one right here in the bottom. So it gives you extra stuff. So is it worth it? In my opinion, it is, because again, if you buy the $20 one, which is the $18.99, that's US dollars, right? US dollar. It'll, once you buy the $20 one, it'll bump you up here. It'll give you the costume automatically, basically. It'll bump you up to 20, and then that's it. And then you just get up to 60, and then you're done. If you don't want to pay that, you want to pay the $9.99, just keep in mind that the bottom, the third section, is not available to you guys. Is it worth it? For me, yeah, it is. Honestly, yeah. I don't spend much. I stopped spending in gacha games in general. It's just let's just say it's not healthy. But if you are looking to spend, the battle pass is actually very well worth the money. It's actually bang for your buck, basically. And then you actually get a cool costume in the meantime. The other thing that's actually worth buying is actually this one. I actually buy, again, I said I spend $30 every 2 months, and that's because I buy the battle pass and then I buy 2 of these, which equals the length of the battle pass plus 2 of these is the same, 60 days each. So by the time the next battle pass kind of pops up, quote unquote, I'll buy the battle pass plus 2 more, and then just keep cycling it on. That's basically what I'm doing now. Again, those are the only 2 things I would say. If you guys are looking to spend money, I'm not saying that you should. I'm not saying that you have to. I'm not saying that if you don't, you're gonna fall behind. No. Again, you want to play games to have fun, not to feel pressured. But if you guys are looking, and you guys are like wondering what can I purchase here that's actually bang for my buck, it's gonna be those 2 things. You can buy the VIP, which again, it's $5 each, and it's like 60 hyper cubes a day and 100 extra stamina, and then you get 300 of these super cubes or whatever they're called per purchase. So that's $10. That's 600 of these. Plus, again, this doesn't change. It's still 60 and 100, but it'll last you 60 days plus a battle pass. If you guys are looking to spend, those are the only things I recommend spending money on. 1,000 stamina for $5. I might actually get this one. Actually, I just looked at it. I'm like, whoa, this is actually not a bad deal. 1,000 stamina, damn. That's actually a lot. I'm not saying you should spend. I'm not saying you have to spend. I think that's one thing I like about this game. And it's one thing I like about the guild I'm in right now is that they're not really telling me, hey, you gotta work hard and like push hard. It's like, no, just relax, man. And that's what I want to do. I just want to relax, take things easy, and then go for it in the future. Again, any questions regarding anything that I spoke about during this video, Tides of Ashes, the Sinners, the spending, the recommendations, or if you have, like I gave you the recommendations for those characters and you still don't know the crime brands, and you guys want to know what crime brands are appropriate for each character, just let me know down in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. And that should be it. I really hope you guys found this really helpful. See you guys next time. Take care.